We're just going to quickly go over some of the safety bits on the car and help you guys kind of understand what we do to get our cars ready for the track as well. So very first thing, we add stickers. Stickers add speed, right? So so stickers, we put the two-way radio inside. We do a track alignment, which is in your manual. We burnish the brakes. We add 2 quarts of extra fluid in the transmission, so that's something you'll want to do. And everything I'm saying is going to be in your manual, so if you guys read up on that. We also break the cars in, the engine, 500 miles for the street, 1,500 miles for the track is what they recommend. So when it comes time to change the oil, when you guys warm it up to 175 degrees oil temp. Check it running, so pop your trunk, you got your little dipstick over here, and then you have your cap. It'll tell you 0.40 weight oil. So this dipstick here, so pull that out. There's a little hash mark system on there, just clean it off, and then when you guys check the fluid level in there, anywhere on that hash mark is good for the street. If you're going to track it, make sure it's full to the top there. Now your air filter's back here behind this deal, so you'd have to take these screws out there. This will pop forward, and then there's more plastic stuff to play with, but I'm hoping you guys just take it to the dealer, let them do their work on it. So hopefully you never put anybody back here, but if you do, you have a quick release here to pull them, to have them pop out. Tire pressures on your door here tells you 30 pounds all the way around, but for track we start them out at 23, 24, 23 in the front, 24 in the back, and you're going to run them, they're going to grow, yeah. So that's what you got to account for that. You're looking at 32 to 34 hot, somewhere where they come in at for that. Lug nut torque is 140 foot-pounds.
That's right.
So it's more than what the C7 was. Parking brake on these, don't set them if you've been running on the track. Just leave them. You can see the little mechanism back here. Now it goes around the rotor. Previous model, it opened from the inside of the brake rotor itself, or hat. So that back mechanism, just don't worry about it. Put it in park. You're good. To get in the frunk, they call it, manually, there's a cable underneath here. It's down by your firewall. It's kind of hard to see, but it's a little black, little curly Q thing. You just plug your finger into, pull it twice, and it'll pop the front of the car, okay? So you can mess with your windshield wiper fluid and your brake fluid from here, but it's kind of hard to obviously see that. So what you do, you take this little plastic bit right here, and then you pop this out. See, it's got one of those clips. You pop the back one out. Be careful popping these out. Then you go over to this side.
On the other side, okay.
Same on the other side. And they pop off pretty easy. Okay. And then you got there's a pin right here. Pull up. It's kind of hard. There's that. Pin on this side. And then this whole tray just pulls out. And then there's your battery, there's your brake reservoir. So there's jacking points under the car, okay, that are, you'll lay down there and look at them and go, oh, it looks like I could jack up on that. Be careful, look in the manual, it'll tell you where to jack it up. There's these little pucks that they use, that'll go, there's a little slotted hole, they'll slide up in, you kind of turn them, it locks them in there. They're like and you can, what we use, because we don't want to accidentally leave one of those in there, we use hockey pucks. Mm-hmm. Actual hockey puck, just put it on your jack at the point where the puck would go in there, and that way we don't accidentally forget one in there and they don't fly off on the track and hit somebody. Your key fob goes to sleep now.
Yes.
So if you guys get in your car and it won't start, just shake the key fob, it wakes up, okay? Now the other thing you do, so if your battery is dead in here, you pull this key out, now you use this key and you push it in this hole right here, and this pops that off. So that pops off and there's your battery. So if you guys need to change your battery, it's that simple to change. But that's the way you pop it off. See the little slot right there? Yeah. That goes right in that little slot to pop that off. If you ever lose one of these and you get a new one, to reprogram it, you got to put it in this little cup holder back. The second back cup holder is where you lay it to do with the button side up. Remember in the C7s you could put it in the steering column?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, you don't have that spot in the steering column. It's the second cup holder back. Underneath there is the connectivity to the brain to start the car if the battery's low, or reprogram a new one if you need it. Brake fluid, use .4 high temp like we talked about. The racing type fluids are better than stock fluid that it comes with. So, but I do recommend that brake burnishing procedure. It's in your manual. If you're going to track your car, do that, because if you don't, lap 3, your brake pedal is going to go to the floor. So it's not good. Track align the car if you're going to track it, because it is terrible with a street alignment on the track. It's terrible, terrible, terrible. Because I drove one that had a street alignment, and one of the engineers asked me how was it, and I said, you want my honest opinion? And he goes, why, what's wrong? I go, something ain't right. I go, it's not right. I go, it doesn't handle at all good.
What's the difference between the two alignments?
So the tires are stood up more straight for street, and then they give them more camber for track. So when you have more camber, you're using more of the tire when you're in the corners. When you have the street alignment, you go into a corner, it just uses the outer shoulder of your tire. Your whole tire is not touching the ground, you know? So you can definitely tell a difference. It's very sensitive to the track alignment. So do make sure, again, your specs are in your manual. Just make sure you follow them, give them to your, whoever's going to do the track alignment, give it to them. Hey, put a track alignment on it.
And street for drag racing, because you
street, yeah, for sure.
Straight line.
Yep. And that could, that could be why we're getting less 0 to 60 time, right? The 0-40 weight oil, by the way, you can track that or street it. But in these high temperatures, Mobile 1 1550 is what we use for the high temperatures, 110 degree outside in the heat, high heat. So, but just know if you go up on thicker weight oil, then you have to warm it up before you go driving like a hot rod, okay? But that's why they put the 0-40 weight in there, so you don't have to wait so long for it to warm up. It warms up a lot quicker.